My problem was getting up at night and then having a problem getting back to sleep.
When I used to drive the car and had to sit for 1 or 2 hours at a time, when I would get out of the car, I was so stiff. It was very uncomfortable.
The problems with the doctors that I was seeing before, they were just treating the symptoms that I had at that moment. And we didn't even discuss where the problems came from.
Inquired of what I was doing for my shoulder, and I told them I was taking non-steroidal anti-inflammatories for several months, and I just didn't want to continue doing this on a continued basis.
I also didn't understand the whole concept of Eastern medicine and how acupuncture works and why they were putting needles in my arms and in places on my feet for headaches. And they explained how all this works to me, and the same philosophy is with the acupressure points.
My relative is a patient here, and she was very impressed with Dr. Tao, so then I came.
I, of course, looked up Dr. Tao's medical bio, and I saw that he was trained at UCLA Medical School.
You know, the man's phenomenal. He has this encyclopedic knowledge right off the top of his head.
I was coming regularly. I was doing acupuncture. I was doing trigger point injections for stress. I was eating healthy. I was making green shakes. I was doing everything and anything you can do to put myself in the best situation to be healthy again.
If there are points that are very tender, if you're in a bad way in any given day, you can sometimes feel the initial little tiny prick. It's very tiny. But most of the time I don't feel anything. And then after that, fraction of a second, you feel nothing. And it did amaze me. I thought, okay, something is obviously happening here. Her body's doing something. It's triggering something. It's triggering my body to actually be healing itself. After the needles are in, at first you feel nothing, and then you start to just relax.
I don't need to take any prescriptive medications or pills. It's pretty much natural foods, holistic, and some exercises in addition to the acupuncture.
To learn about these alternative types of medicine and treatments that can work in addition with the wonderful things we have in Western medicine. And together, it's using the best of both worlds.
After the first treatment, I noticed, I says, my God, the pain has substantially decreased. And there are no side effects,
You'll feel that needle go in, and then all of a sudden the muscle relaxes. It's an instant reaction, and that's such a relief.
A lot of problems occur because you don't get enough sleep. And now I'm sleeping through the night, so I'm very happy about that.
I used to get sinus infections about 4 times a year and be on antibiotics all the time. I don't get them anymore.
I was on, non-steroidal anti-inflammatories for 9 months. And I came in here. I stopped. Within a week after I came here, I stopped taking them.
Now it's been 2 years, and I come once a month, and I am relatively pain-free.
There wasn't any issue as to whether or not it was helping. It was. And the acupuncture, the acupressure, and the nutritional guidance, those 3 components together have made a world of difference for me.
Part of this whole treatment was an education on what I can do for myself. And part of that is the acupressure points that they taught me about, and so I can do that to myself before I start to feel any pain, so when I feel tension or just to check.
Within 48 hours of the treatment, I can honestly tell you I had substantial improvement. The pain was substantially less, the range of motion was better.
After doing the exercises, which I do regularly, I can get out of the car and I'm not stiff.
Within 2 weeks, I can tell you the pain was minimal. Beforehand, I had very limited range of motion. I put my arm that far and it hurt.
When you walk into here, it's the atmosphere is, let's figure out what's going on with you. With the idea that it's integrative, that he can understand everything that's going on Western and then apply it Eastern was really, for me, what was the game changer.
Eastern medicine wants to consider the whole person.
It's not, let's put a Band-Aid on what's happening with you. Let's figure out what's really going on with you. Let's get to the core of what's happening.
Not just the joints and the liver and whatever ailment you come to them with, but they talk about, who you are. What is it that you do? What is it that you like? The whole person is getting considered.
You can come here, it's not just acupuncture. People think you're coming in for acupuncture, you get your pins, and then out you go the door, you feel good for the day, and that's it. But it's more than that. It's integrative. It's a more bird's eye view, if you will. It's a macro view, and then they get specific. And I think that's what really is key. We're in a box in the way we think, and I think this opens that box up. And I think this center has the ability to help almost anybody with almost anything. And I think that's a huge, huge thing. People don't know where to go when the pain, or when they have chronic pain, or when something's wrong, or they can't figure it out. This is the first place I would go.